especially those who form part of the Communications Office, I enjoin you to remain committed to your duty in upholding the truth at all times. Never exaggerate, never misinterpret, never agitate as you communicate our platform of governance. In other words, do not be arrogant. In the same vein, I call upon our friends from Pdea to remain committed to the truth at all times. Never lie, because we are not up to it anyway. Never confuse your search for answers with the need to engage the public through sensationalized news and over-publicized political propaganda. There are so many things which I have been tempted in the past to blurt it out, but for reasons of public interest and maybe the prevailing sentiments, hinayaan ko na lang muna. Anyway, at the end of the day, lalabas naman ang totoo. So I'm just hoping that developments will come our way that would need an answer from me or from the staff and would be able to express the truth. There are truths which cannot be divulged just because it is the truth. It's always a thing that awaits at the appropriate time. Marami akong gustong sabihin, but yung nagtiklop ako because I think it will not be to the best interest of the country, especially when everybody gets a go-go, yung mga, whether sensationalized or not. But if you are a journalist of significance and a little more thorough investigation, makikita niya yung totoo. But as you'd wonder why, sabi ko, maybe it not would be the right time for the truth. You know, God sees the truth but waits. So, ganun lang. Indeed, as we enter into a new chapter of our nation's history, we need to foster a more vibrant relationship between government and the press. The role of the media is vital, and if we are to successfully educate our people about the much-needed constitutional reforms that would lead to a more responsive federal parliamentary form of government that welcomes foreign investments as a catalyst for economic growth. Let me just dwell on these two words, federal and parliamentary. I am not threatening anybody. I would be the last person to do that. I would not want to strike fear in everybody's mind because nobody wants it. At this time, it's for garbage. It is susceptible to almost equivocal interplay of words. The press will also play an important role in the dissemination of accurate information on the gains that we are reaping for our country's successful chairmanship of ASEAN, or improved relationship with our neighbors, and a role in maintaining peace and stability in the region. Let me just dwell on the parliamentary type. Could just imagine if what happened in Marami would have happened to about 3 or 4 cities in the Philippines. You might want to, this is an open secret anyway among the military and the police, that if this were to happen simultaneous in 3 big cities, or 4, it could be Basilan, Zamboanga, Cagayan, Davao, and Cotabato. And about 1 or 2 in the Visayas. And I don't think they have this modus vivendi with the enemy, but if the Reds would finally do it, then
they are now in alignment with the Reds, the terrorists, and the Tungdroga. I think this country would go into shambles. Alam ninyo yan. Baski dalawa lang. So we're trying our best just to keep silent, and I have to build a strong army and the police. Not to perpetuate myself. I don't need it. That's the last thing that napakakurni niyan. I find even the thought of just mentioning it an idiotic thing. There's something to do with my country and how it would travel through the years safe and sound. But there are challenges ahead, threats that could come our way after I shall have stepped down. This will continue for another time. This will continue to bug our children and grandchildren. If not, if we cannot control it on time, I'm sorry, but this is the reality, not the reality of the DU30 administration, but the reality of the problems confronting our country today. Gusto lang ko lang malaman ninyo na wag na muna ako dyan sa mga criticism, sa mga Trillanes thing, itong mga yellow, itong mga reds. I would be happy, really, if they will start to merge into one command. Itong mga komunista at itong liberal at itong yung iba na gustong paalisin ako, mag-isa-isa na lang kayo, isang grupo. I think you share the same ideological whatever, para hindi na masyado magkalat ang we can focus on all of you. This is no threat. I said it is my mandated duty to keep this country safe and sound, and the only way I can do it is I have to build a strong army and police. And we will be getting the arms that the other nations have donated. I do not want to keep it a secret. They want to, but I don't like the idea, because we must know that who are the nations who are helping us. China gave us the much needed +2 shipments. And we have now arms that can arm the ones that are training now. I want about 5 soft police units to do the challenges of urban terrorism. It has totally changed the landscape of fighting. Hindi kagaya noon that we have only to deal with them in the mountain ranges and in the grasslands and a few urban areas, yung mga barangay-barangay. Now, if you are a keen interest, have that keen interest to observe, you might want to look at the destruction of the Middle East. Mosul, Aleppo, and the rest took for the longest time, fighting almost 2 years. And in Marawi, you would notice that we are into the 4th month. Maybe there's a failure somewhere, but I don't look for mistakes. It is there already. It has happened. So what's the use of flogging a dead horse? And so I vow that we'd never be, caught in the same situations of unpreparedness. But really, this thing is, it has changed the dimension of the doctrines of war that's being adopted by the Republic of the Philippines Armed Forces. Ito yung building for building. And if they go inside first or capture the place, and there's a lot of buildings,
it would be just like in Syria and Iraq. Ang awayan nito, building for building, and just the natural cover of concrete and iron. So mahirapan talaga. They're positioned appropriately, and they're just waiting for the troops to move in with all the IEDs planted everywhere. Our heaviest casualty was not the confrontational face-to-face. Masyadong mahusay ang mga sundalo natin dyan, especially itong mga bata. Itong Scout Rangers na bata, they're only about 20, 21, 22, and they can move with agility. Problem is that you have to crawl, and while crawling, there are a lot of pressure, agitated. Ang marami natin patay, IED, sunog talaga yung katawan. I'm sorry to say it in public. That's sniping. So you need rockets and everything there, which we do not have right now. Russia has, kailan yun? 25. I think it would be on a ship. I told them that they could just leave by Philippine Airlines. Biglang ko lang si ticket, iwan na lang yung barko nila. They will deliver the arms. I am not at liberty to say how many, and but it would be enough to start with a strong trust. And over the years, at least a minimum of safety in especially in the Mindanao area. In the Mindanao area, ganito yan. And this is my take, and I would say everybody's take. The MI pati MN has hanging on to the reins of their horses. They are cooperating with government, fighting alongside with government forces, but they are hoping that what they have been asking for centuries will be given. If we fail to come up with a reasonable counter proposal, then I assure you that there will be fighting everywhere in Mindanao. For then, the mainstream rebel groups would now be joining with the extremist groups. Now we are on one side, and Miswari has remained neutral, but some of the raw members are there fighting. But fundamentally, they are waiting for the word of Hasim Salamat and Nur Miswari. But if their common determination, their dream, is ends in a failure or a disappointment, magkaisat itong lahat against the Republic of the Philippines. And I have it in God authority that they will declare an independence. They will declare an independent Mindanao. Remember that there are more Christians than the Muslim populations. But that's not the point. The point is we are not ready to embark on another war again. This time on a large scale throughout Mindanao. I just know what will happen. In the meantime, I have to talk patiently with Secretary Doresa. Every time Moraj is there, Secretary is there. Every time Nur Miswari is there with me in Davao, Secretary is Doresa is also there. But he knows deep in his heart, and we fear the same challenge. And that would be, I hope it would not end in a fissure na maghiwalay ang Mindanao. Because then if there is a status of belligerence, given to them, then it becomes very, very, very serious for all of us. It's not the politicking dito. That's one. They will disappear overnight. Wala yung CIA funded, gano'n na mga NED, Rappler, yung mga gano'n. And the Americans will realize to their sorrow that they have been too myopic in this thing. Now, the recent events is, magulo man kaya itong marami. I have issued do you have a copy of that, please? Executive order? Or have I released it to them already? Ang utos ko, lahat na lang ng mga civilian, bigyan nila ng armas, kayo na ang makipag-away sa mga drogista because I need the soldiers in another front. Each citizen is now given the right to bear arms, just like in America, and shoot the drug people. Would that be all right with you? Ha? Ayaw ninyo? Kaya ito, pag duwag ang tao, you are like sacrificial lamb. It's a memorandum from me to address to all concerned. Bantayan ninyo ito, ha? Because hindi ko sabihin sa inyo. The truth will come out. Implementation of Republic Act 9165, otherwise known as the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act of 2002. Date 10 October 27. That was yesterday. The Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency, Pdea, was created pursuant to Republic Act number 9165, otherwise known as the Comprehensive Dangerous Act of 2022, in order to safeguard the integrity of its state territory and the well-being of the citizenry, particularly the youth, from the harmful effects of dangerous drugs in their physical and mental well-being. Okay yan? Yan lang. So, you are now learning. Among others, the Pdea, listen very carefully because this would, to your chagrin, I assure you. Among others, the Pdea is mandated, empowered, and authorized to undertake the enforcement of the provisions of Article 2 of this Act relative to the unlawful acts and penalties involved, any dangerous drugs and or controlled precursor and essential chemical, and investigate all violations and all other matters involved in the commission of any crime related to the use, abuse, or trafficking of any dangerous drug and or controlled precursor and essential chemical as provided for in this Act and the provisions of Presidential Decree number 1619. Is this okay? Nice to hear. Okay. Monitor and if warranted by circumstances in coordination with the Philippine Postal Office and Bureau of Customs, inspect all air cargo packages, parcels, and mails in the Central Post Office which appear from the package and address itself to be possible importation of dangerous drugs and or controlled precursors and essential chemicals through online and cyber shop via internet or cyberspace. Okay yan? Tungkin, no? RA 9165 further mandates that while RA 9165 shall not mean to be a diminution of the investigative powers of the National Bureau of Investigation and the Philippine National Police, on all crimes as provided in the respective organic laws. The law, however, specifically provides that when the investigation being conducted by the NBI, PNP, or any ad hoc anti-drug task force is found to be a violation of any of the provisions of this act, the Pdea shall be the lead agency, and the NBI, PNP, or any other task force shall immediately transfer the same to the Pdea. Lipat nila lahat. Pursuant to the above-quoted provisions of RA 9165, and in order to bring order to the operation campaign against illegal drugs, thus pinpointing precise accountability, I hereby direct the NBI, PNP, Armed Forces of the Philippines, Bureau of Customs, Philippine Postal Office, and on all other agencies of any and all ad hoc anti-drug task force to leave to the Pdea a sole agency to conduct all campaigns and operations against those who directly or indirectly and in whatever manner capacity are involved or connected with illegal drugs. All information received by the NBI, PNP, AFP, Bureau of Customs, Philippine Postal Office, and other agencies, and any and all ad hoc anti-drug task force shall forthwith be relayed, delivered, and brought to the attention of the Pdea for its appropriate action. The PNP shall at all times maintain police visibility as a deterrent of illegal drugs activities, leaving to the Pdea, however, the conduct of anti-drug operations as aforestated. Strict compliance is enjoyed. This is good. Bright talaga kayo. Well, tingnan natin. Pdea lang, wala nang iba. And I will again reiterate, umalis kayong lahat, ibigay ninyo sa Pdea. And let us see what happens. But me, I am not interested anymore in using any other. Namo Pdea. I will not comment, basta sinabi ko, mukha yan ang gusto ng... Gusto ko lang, sila stored. Maybe this will suffice for the stupid European Union guys. You know, they were all focused on how many deaths. They say it's 3,000. Mine in Davao, during my 23 years, I'd admit, but 600. All done in a police operation, police work. Sabi nila, lagay natin 10,000. Yung figures mo bang sa... And they threatened us. I said that they will have us expelled from the UN. My God, do it, stupid. Do it now. Because by just reading the victims, or at least the persons killed in police operations, and others were murdered by other drug cartels. I've told you that the drug operations in Southeast Asia is being now controlled by the Bambo Triad. I'd just like to say that yung killed in police operation, I lost, when I became president, 147 men sa police. Remember in Marawi, it started with the drug bust. they were there to implement a warrant of an arrest in connection with drug problem. Wounded in police operations, drug-related, 449. Nandiyan sa AFP ngayon. And others, 180. AFP, drug-related encounters, killed in action, 210. 155, others 52. Sa Marawi casualties lang. And remember, it was because of a drug case, they were serving a warrant. Namatayan ako sa Marami, 153 soldiers. Wounded in action, 2,048. Pdea killed 1. Ang Pdea, walang patay. Kunti lang, isa-isa lang. Wounded in action, 2. So, ibigay natin sa Pdea. Kasi lesser ang patay. 2 lang, oh. All figures on related casualties came from Pdea as of 11/2017, except the AFP killed in action, which was sourced from the AAP's spot reports. Includes other enforcement, internal security organizations such as shooting incidents and encounters with the local terrorist groups. So, kung ang Pdea, kunti lang ang patay, hindi kunti lang rin mamatay doon sa kabila. Isa lang wounded in action, 2. This is better. Or betterer, do you say? Diyan tayo. Walang patay, so walang encounter yan. So better for the bleeding hearts and the media. I hope I will satisfy you. But yung sa left, itong be careful with that AKJ. Kasi ang mga left, lahat nung sa probinsya yung tinamaan nila, always AKJ yan. Lahat yung namatay sa kanila, AKJ yan. Oh, so, hindi ako bukog, binabantayan ko na. They're using the AKJ. May manamatay sa kanila yung sa probinsya, idagdag na nila yun. That's why the number dito sa Manila keep on increasing. And it may reach about 30,000. Yung mga guerrilla nila doon namatay, AKJ yan. Ang ating sundalo died in action. Ganun lang yan. So I'm trying to say, if Pdea has the list of the wounded and death, isa lang, ibigay natin sa Pdea. Drug enforcement to eh. Now, kung kaya ng Pdea, palagay ko, kaya. Yung sa Mindanao, kasi bulto-bulto yan, parang sumil yan doon. Kaya ng Pdea yan. At least may sidearm sila. Tingnan natin kung... Pero, huwag kayong tumingin sa akin. Kindly, I'm not joking. At nandito na yan ang gusto ng lahat. When something not to your liking is happening, do not look at me. Praise the bleeding hearts and all. Kasi ginawa ko na talaga lahat magagawa ko, ito na. And some of the noted writers say, act now. Ito na po. Ito yung mga patay. Taguin ko na lang sa bulsa ko. You know why. Itong mga left, itong mga, hindi naman sana bobo ang mga putang ina nila. Labas mo yan. Bakit ang tignan dito?
ang patay lang sa mga suspected addicts. Yung mga sundalo ko, baliwala na sa kanila. And the 1,000 other victims who are now hooked into drugs during the time that they began in earnest dito sa drug activity until the time when I acted on the problem. Ang pinamakasakit dito, they have cheapened the deaths of my soldiers and policemen and the 1,300,000, and you saw it with your naked eyes, yung mga Pilipino na payat na parang skin and bones, surrendering every day to government. Ang pagkapresentar ng mga animal na to, I call them animal, you tell them, come back, start delisting the Philippines from the UN. Sige nga, kung kaya nila. And from now on, we are not the latest word from Sunny. Yun sa Great Britain, $18 million, 20. Sabi ko kay Sunny Domingo, huwag mong tanggapin. Mabubuhay rin tayo. Anyway, I control the foreign affairs of this government. So yung mga noisy na it will go hungry, the Philippines will go hungry. In your ignorance, you are not the one who formulate the foreign policy of this country. It is solely the privilege of the executive department. The conduct of external affairs of this country is not in Congress, is not in the Supreme Court. It is the presidency in the great separations of powers. Huwag mo nang tanggapin yan sila. Then ayaw na tanggapin ang export natin because the tariff is almost none or none-free. I will ask China to accept it. China is saying until now, so where's your fruits? We need the fruits. Where are they now? Nagkaroon tayo ng shortfall because for the time being that things was not very well with China during the past administration, wala man nagtanim ng... Ngayon lang tayo nagbawi. But all exports natin, binibili ng China. And China said, no problem, we will help you. Russia. Nagpadala nga ng armas wala pang bayad. So they are obsessed with the affairs of other countries and interfering. And I would tell them that do not do it. Or else I'd start looking at them. Ano mga EU? Do you know, I'd like to ask them, is the morality noon panahon in the 18 rather, the 18, 19, and the 20th century, was the morality of right and wrong different from the morality of what is right and wrong, no? Remember you Europeans, all by yourselves, by your lonesome selves, you have started the First World War. Dinamay ninyo ang Middle East because you were the great colonizers. Between 1813 to 1816, you massacred, pareho kayo Europeans, and the Arabs that you took in as your armies, you killed, slaughtered each other. 15 million stupid Europeans died because of you. Bakit? Ang right or wrong ba noon? Hindi ba right or wrong pati ngayon? So bakit kami? Why don't you start scratching your head? And find out, kung kayo, you will be excluded in the UN. Putang ina nyo, gawin ninyo. Hindi man ako Espanyol, paano sabihin sa Espanyol?
You the puta, you go and go ahead. You are interfering in our affairs kasi mahirap lang kami. Magbigay kayo ng pera, then you start to orchestrate what things should be done and which should not happen in my country. You bullshit. We are past the colonization stage. Huwag ninyo akong, don't fuck with us. We ASEAN members can export to each other. We can also have tariff-free. And you have the problem there of terrorism. You imported it in your country. You built your riches. You were ahead in the industrial race of the planet Earth because you stole the greatest resource of the Arabs, and that was this oil. Kaya nauna kayo, and you paid a pittance for the raw materials. From where? From the Middle East. You colonized lahat. Then started to divide Middle East, United States, UK, France. Kayo yun eh. And that is why you're paying heavily now with terrorism. May you end up happy for what you have done. Do not come to this country again. We do not need you. You want to expel us? You try. Your $1,000 will earn 1 million pesos for me if you can expel us from the UN. Bakit? Papaya kaya ang Russia pati China? Ulul pala kayo eh. You think China and the rest of the countries of ASEAN will agree to that? Where will be the crucial vote that would come? It's a Security Council. And you think that China and Russia will allow that? Kasi ang pagtingin ninyo kasi sa amin, walang alam sa charter ng United Nations. You think that we are a bunch of morons here. You are the one. Now, the ambassadors of those countries listening now. Tell me, because we can have the diplomatic channel cut tomorrow. You leave my country in 24 hours. All of you. You must have taken the Filipino for granted, saying that we could be excluded. Is it your decision? You really think that you can do it? You have to pass by the Security Council. If one of the members would say, let us talk about this, would you think Russia and China would allow it? Come on, guys. In Spanish, and the Spaniards would learn it, it's a stupido. Mexico, sometimes it's gago. In the Philippines, you're called torpe. And itong mga media, you know, all of you Westerners, you just say, son of a bitch. That's a slang. That's a street slang. Pagdating doon, while you were publishing it against Obama, you changed the traditional word, son of a bitch, which is son of a whore. The way that you try to destroy so we will not allow anybody, not even the United States, to dictate on us. And I will tell it straight during the November in the ASEAN. Bubuga ko lahat talaga sa... Akala mo dali you're the last vestiges of imperialism in this part of the world. You idiots came to our lands, Indonesia, Malaysia, Dutch for Indonesia, Malaysia for the British, and the Philippines for the Americans and Spaniards, and you have the gall to say to us, we will expel you, son of a bitch. My language is horrible. No, that is part of our grammar here. Why? Because we are angry at you for colonizing and stealing our resources for so many hundreds of years. Gago pala kayo eh. Kayong mga, when you left my country after 400 years, you brought home the best of everything in this country. Tapos ganunin ninyo ako? Mayroon ka nila. And United States would, your funding, Rappler said, and all of this, go ahead and fund more. So that we can always transfer, there's always China and Russia. What should we worry? You keep on funding those, Soros is funding human rights watch. So you think that you are the conscience of the people, that you are the right ones because you are the white? Excuse me, are we talking of a monkey here or? Kung magsalita kayo, akala na. Well, maybe the other president, but yeah, CIA stop fucking. One day I will just drive you away. It's either your cahots here will have to kill me or you have to get out of my country. Choose. Basta ako sabihin ko sa Pilipino, pag namatay ako, Amerika na yan. CIA na yan. Pag may mga bagong barko dyan na maganda na Chinese character, kaibigan natin yan, China yan. Kung yung parang drawing na hindi ko maintindihan yan, Russian yan. Magsalot yan, pag magsalot yan sa atin, ganon, Amerikano, wag yan. Ganon. Yan, mga Russian yan. Bakit idol ko sila? Kasi marunong sila magrespeto. Kayong mga putang ina kayo, kalasino ninyo. Go ahead. That is my inaugural speech to
Thank you very much, Mr. President, for your message. At this point, may we request the President for a photo opportunity in 3 batches with a samahan ng mga na tanggapan ng pampahayagan. First batch, please, the PCOO officials. Thank you. Thank you. Now we'd like to call on the second batch, the setup members. Thank you once again to the PCOO officials. We'd like now to call on to the second batch, the setup members, for your chance to have a photo opportunity.
Ayun na nga eh. Actually, yun yung gusto niyang mensahe na, sige, tignan natin yung susunod na mga mangyayari sa mga susunod na araw. Gusto lang itanong, kaya nga ba ng Pdea? May sinabi naman siya kanina na,
Leila,
ayun,
wag lumapit sa kanya. Rappler.
na mayroon pa rin role ang PNP. Pero ito ay yung police visibility, magsisilbing tenga at mata ng Pdea at PNP. Sila yung magagatag ng info kung meron silang makikita illegal activity, lalo na pag legal drugs, sa kanilang mga area of responsibility, ititimple nila sa Pdea. Para mayroon pa rin ang hindi naman na talagang i-abandon na nila yung kampanya ng pagpunang kontra illegal drugs. Supposedly, ganun yung pag-bagay. Kanya lang, para din sa lumalabas na itong statement lately PNP chief Bato de la Rosa na parang sarcastic na, sige,
Members, thank you once again to the setup members.
social media at saka sa
We would like all the
mga taga-PNP
members
na talagang dinisolve na yung
once last batch of setup members for your chance to have a photo opportunity.
parang nagja-jive yung kaya pala ganun na lang yung lakas ng loob na magsalita. Sa mga operasyon
Thank you very much to the setup members and
Sir. Sir.
thank you very much, Mr.
Sir, first question, sir.
And ladies and gentlemen, that ends our program. Once again, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, President of the Philippines. Please stay inside the press briefing room until the President has left. Thank you.
Pagbabago, awa na ang bayan ko sa magnanakaw na tao. Madilim na kahapon, ikaw ang mag-aahon. Sa piling mo, di ko mawawala ang korupsyon.
Hindi ako. Ako lang. Ako lang.
Tayo na, Pilipinas, tayo na magbago. Hawak kamay tayo para sa pag-asenso. Ikaw at ako, tayong lahat kay Rodrigo Duterte, para sa tunay na pagbabago. Masdan mo ang paligid, alamak mga krimen, rape, droga at mga nakawan, dapat nang mapigilan. Tayo na, Pilipinas, tayo na